The doctor. That was sick.
Yeah, dude. Like the fedora drop on the head like that.
Man.
I was like, I had no idea.
I never seen that clip before.
That's in the crates, man. That's back there.
So he filmed that?
Yeah,
yeah.
That was
his promo,
good, man. Yeah, man. Yeah, that was really good. Like that part where he was dipping his hat. I was like, what?
Right,
that
man.
Was sick, man. Like
welcome everybody for Tuesday. We're here to celebrate John's life, I guess, and have some stories about some guys that have angled with him and experiences, and just celebrate him as all around good person. Welcome, Adam, Dino.
Thanks for having me, Mitch.
Thanks, man.
How you guys doing today?
I'm doing good, man.
Yeah. Doing good. Good things are happening for John.
Yeah.
With the GoFundMe and the auction. If you guys aren't on the auction page already, you guys need to get there. There's some crazy stuff going on there.
There's a ton of prizes.
The GoFundMe's at 40 grand already.
Yeah. Like it's a good thing to see, man. So that's a positive for sure. That's a uplifting thing.
Oh, 100%.
How you doing, Mitch?
Oh, good enough.
Right on, brother.
You know, it's always hard to see a fellow outdoorsman go so tragically and everything, but
absolutely,
the community has just got all around this to help out his family. So it's just crazy to see that how many people are involved in this now and helping out for his family and everything. So it's awesome to see.
He'd be proud to see this many people coming all together.
Oh, he would be ecstatic, man.
Oh, he would love it. Yeah. He would love it, man. I know he was looking down on us, and that would have made him awfully happy to see us all.
He definitely knows, man.
Yeah.
What's one of your first kind of meetings with John, Adam?
Me? Well, first meeting with John. The first time I actually met John was in Walmart. It wasn't even a fishing thing. When I was doing some groceries, John was doing some groceries, and we bumped into each other, and we talked in the aisle for about an hour and bugged everyone trying to come by us. But I mean, that wasn't the first fishing experience. First fishing experience was sturgeon for sure.
Yeah.
And I mean, he didn't get one. So the first time we went, he didn't get one. And John, and anyone who's fished sturgeon with John will agree, he's very good at having his bail flip over on him when he casts.
Definitely, yeah.
The first time that I met him hung out with him while fishing, I must have watched him launch 10 rigs. It's
yeah.
so funny, man.
Yeah.
You get hyped up in Cassidy, just snap it right off.
And then just duff it.
Oh yeah. Oh well.
Yeah.
Try on
Yeah.
a new one.
Yeah.
What was your kind of first experience, Dino?
I met him the first time I actually fished. I kind of I ran into him once in Calgary once, just briefly at Cabela's once, just briefly, kind of before I had been messaged with him a few times. But when I met him I invited him out with Glenn and Glenn and his girlfriend there one time at Newell. And we went ice fishing. And that was, I think, one of the first times he ice fished Newell. I mean, he'd already been fishing it from shore. But like I was saying to these guys, that was his first time using bait to ice fish. And he was blown away at the size of the bait we were tossing for fish. And he's like, "Oh, I can't believe a fish is going to eat that!" Like, And I was like, "Well, you want big fish, big bait, buddy." And the rigs we were using were just, he didn't never use stuff like that, right? I mean, I told him you might not get any smaller, but then even that day, I mean, we didn't really get anything big, but he was blown away by the 20s and 24s. He hadn't caught anything that big, right? He was just, catching big pike and walleye for the most part, but we caught maybe 15 pike that day. And yeah, he learned a lot just basically doing nothing, no skill involved with bait fishing for pike. Just put it in the water and leave it. Yeah, just do nothing. Yeah.
And he definitely would have been stoked on any fish. Like Dino said, 20-inch pike. We need to get a picture.
That was another. That wasn't also the same time. Like he never had a tent to fish in, right? So I mean, I've got the Clam Mitchell flip over, right? So I mean, he'd never looked down the hole and actually seen pike come in. And you want to see a guy get excited, when he's never been really ice fishing ever in a tent. I mean, barely ice fished, and then he's seeing pike in the hole. Right. And they were actually really aggressive that day, too. I mean, they weren't the ones that were just slowly swim away and make you mad. But, he was getting excited in the holes. You could hear him in the tent just going crazy in there, man.
His energy was just like it would consume everybody. It was so funny to be around him. It was amazing.
Like that was a fast day of fishing just because he was just always, and the thing when he was, videotaping everything too. So I mean, I never got to see the footage of that trip. I'd love to if he could find it somehow now. This is going to be hilarious.
Mm-hmm.
I know you talked to Glenn earlier, Adam.
Yeah.
So we'll play that video because he couldn't make it and a few other guys couldn't make it. So we'll play out throughout the show here.
Yeah, for sure.
We'll jump into Glenn here. Then we'll come back and talk some more.
For sure.
All right, Glenn. How's it going, buddy? Yeah, absolutely, dude. I'm sure there's a few people who are pretty surprised to see us on the screen together. Yeah, absolutely. But no, it's good to see you since the weekend. Obviously, it was unfortunate there what happened. But we got to talk John. We got to talk good memories, man. So can you tell me some things about John that are awesome besides the fact that John was about bringing people together? And I mean, we may have had our differences in the past, but he brought us back together, buddy, and I'm glad that happened.
I'm glad we're all working together over the weekend and work together to see what we do for him and his family. And we not just been the ones locate him, but we can help out after that.
We sure tried hard.
Yeah, I know. Last night, job was selling on the road trip. I was supposed to get them. Well, originally said to me, how's it going? What are you going to do? Christmas busy. Something along those lines.
Right.
Then he said he was going down the third and fourth fishing. Mountains. And he said, are you not getting to the mountains more? I said, yeah, I'm getting to the mountain, man. We'll go. So they said, see how it works. Fix it up.
Yeah, right.
And he says, I really like to do a video with you and Ray. You guys can fish, I said, I I ended up messaging back on the 25th. And I said, I'll be down this weekend from Friday till Sunday. Where are you going to be? He said, I'll let you know. And that was last time I ever received a phone.
Yeah, that's horrible, man. I mean, I was talking about whitefish with him. I mean, it's just tragic, dude. There's not really any other way to put it. I mean, you can try to say how sad it is, but like realistically, like we lost like the light. The guy who was like about bringing everyone together. Like, I mean, he took a lot of criticism and he took it with a grain of salt. He never had anything bad to say about anyone.
Exactly.
You know, where anybody's facing arguments, including our own, and just be like, hey, how you doing, man? Better than that.
Yeah.
Don't do that kind of stuff on the internet or whatnot. You know, it's just, you always positive, never negative.
Absolutely.
And out of all the ways, you know, for this to happen, you know, this is not bad.
No, I mean, there's a little bit of solace for me in knowing he was in his favorite place in the world, obviously. It's beautiful there. But for me, it'll always, I mean, it'll never be the same. It'll be tainted. But I mean, we got to remember to celebrate him, right? Like, those are Johnny's trout now. So if we go down there and we get one, we got to thank him for that. if it's on a red wire where on a stick, it's because of him.
Yeah, that little price, a little break. Stop for a minute, just downstream. Used to stick to the wire catch whitefish. So it was definitely a long day, and I would not suggest anybody go into Lakes Creek at 3:30 in the morning and scour around for 3 feet. Could have escalated the situation.
I mean,
friend may be alive. Why not?
right, exactly. If there's a possible chance, I'm going. Just like in those areas at all, guys, like please try to go with 2 people always, right? Like, Glenn, you'd agree with that. I mean, you go down there, you know, it's best to have a buddy system because I mean, anything can happen.
And can be avoided when you have a second person. Like, you know, I told John multiple times, make sure you have bear spray, make sure you have an air horn, all kinds of things. Keep a lighter in your pocket, you never know, right? But I definitely will be taking into consideration one of those light vests that inflate into water.
Right.
You can wear it under anything.
Yeah. I would almost love to see like a sling pack, like from I don't know, one of the many brands that are out there that just has an I can't believe that's not a thing. Like a backpack that has an inflate on it, sling pack, anything.
Yeah.
Like so.
Enough to let people know. Well, even if something you hit your head or whatnot, at least they can locate you quickly.
Absolutely.
Because there was when we went down there searching the next morning, there was tons of fly fishing in the area. And that one individual from Fort McMurray sent me that photo where, he was fishing that area. He's like, we were there for 2 days. Didn't see anything.
Yeah.
So it's,
because I think the thing a lot of people forget too is like when you're in the canyon with rushing water, you can scream and someone can be 50 yards from you and they may not even hear a peep. They're just the water's so loud and it's so powerful that like it's something that needs to be respected.
Well, even where I had crossed at the top of those falls, and I believe it was Colt Medino, because we didn't have waders on. Doyle and I did. When we had crossed at like 4 in the morning, 4:30, I'm not sure what time it was, which I wouldn't suggest anybody crossing rushing water at 4 in the morning with waders on, but we couldn't hear them. Like they were yelling stuff at us about going around. We couldn't hear what they were saying.
Yeah.
Right. 50, 60 feet away.
Yeah.
So it's like you say, having a buddy, take some rope, you know, whatever, wear orange, whatever you got to do to mess around the falls.
Yeah. That's a good point. Bright colored clothing. I mean, I'm guilty of like pretty much every t-shirt I own is this color.
Most of my stuff is camo.
Yeah.
It's, you know, my raincoats, everything that I wear out there.
Right.
You know, trout, they spook with color.
Absolutely.
So we tend to lean towards camouflage, but at the same time, if something happens, nobody can see.
Exactly. And that's why I think a GPS locator or something else. I mean, I purchased one as soon as I got home. Honestly, I purchased one. Because that's going to help you. I mean, in that situation, would it have helped? No. Would it made things sped things along a little bit? Probably. But any other circumstance, it's going to help all kinds of ways. So, I thought that was an important thing.
It's just
But
it's a shame, you know. Every we fish, especially for this species that he was after, like that 31.5-inch bull that Renee had caught. The second he's seen that, he's screenshot. Where is it? When did you get it? And and it's always by white water.
Yeah.
It's always nasty water. The conditions are always less than favorable. You're stepping on slimy rocks across the river, standing on log jams, which sometimes I'm up there and I'm like, man, if I ever fall in and I go on this jam, I'm in trouble. But you're out there for the fish. And
sometimes the chase and the hope for the reward kind of trumps the brain telling you not to.
Yeah, you push the limits and you overlook these smallest things.
Absolutely.
And I'm definitely going to remember that post he had made that he said that I was his mountain mentor. Now it's probably going to bug me for a long time, knowing that maybe I could have changed the outcome a little bit.
Right. And like I've been like beating myself up, and it's not right, like over like talking to him about that area and stuff like that, and I just feel like I'm somewhat to blame. And like you say, like we've talked about this. John used to speak so highly of you to me, and like you said, it was vice versa. And like he knew, like if these guys would just talk to each other and fish together and be brothers, like we're all brothers and we should be, they would destroy. And I'm glad we're brothers again, buddy, so that we can get into some fish.
Yeah, I'm glad that even in a situation as bad as this one, that everybody was able to come together and squash what they have.
Right.
And work together to help his family. That's what he would want.
Yeah, and like there was never even a second thought about that. Right?
No. As soon as I seen you there, I was like, "Where are we going next?"
Yeah. Get the drone going. Let's go.
Yeah, and one thing if I could change one thing about that search, it would be that search and rescue actually listens to his friends. The information they had, the information or wherever they got it from, the information they were working with was so far-fetched.
Yeah.
Like,
realistically, we led them right to where he was. They just didn't listen.
We told them that this is where you need to check now. We don't want to pull resources off until it's exhausted. We've already done the search for it.
Yeah.
We've gone 60 kilometers up and down river.
Yeah.
Starting at 3 a.m. Regardless if they think we're new to this. We spend most of our weekends in the mountains.
And if we're not in there, we're planning about it. We're researching, looking at maps. Like, it was too obvious, and like that's why drawing such a blank was like, because we needed their help. Like honestly, if we would have had their help, we wouldn't have been thinking the crazy things that we had started to think because we just didn't know anymore.
Yeah, like the I don't know what you want to call it, the situation scenarios that we were playing out that could have happened. You know, first we assumed it was animals, so we searched that top to bottom. Then we're like, okay, we need to find a GoPro, a fishing rod, a net. Check that. Beyond the net, what he would be capable of hiking in those mountains. But we were pushing ourselves at some points on ledges that we shouldn't have been going on, but there's a possibility. You never know. People do some weird things sometimes. And I'm just glad to, like, if anybody ever does find a fishing rod, report it. There was a fella from Coaldale who found a fly rod the day he went missing. And thankfully he had told other campers about what he had discovered. And that information got back to us. So it's, if it had been reported to the police, the information would have been used at the beginning of the search instead of coming up at the end of the search.
Yeah. Had we known there was a rod there, like, imagine we walked off on the rod, man.
The outcome would have been totally different.
But we got to remember the good things, right? We got to remember his big smile. We got to remember that he was catching fish.
Yes.
Johnny
didn't get stuck.
Johnny was the man.
Yeah, he was a legend forever.
Absolutely, dude.
And just for anybody who doesn't know, we're having a fundraiser auction for him on Saturday. There's so many items that have been donated from all shapes, forms, people, companies. There's anything and everything you can almost think of has been donated to it. There's a GoFundMe. Like I've said in the group before, if anybody sees an an ignorant comment or something on one of the shares, don't get upset.
Yeah.
Just let us know. There'll be a $1 donation made in that person's name for not all of them, but for that one particular comment that we started, like a $1 donation for that. John prefer us to do that than argue online.
Yeah.
That's one of his biggest beefs with me was, why do you do this?
Just pray for them.
Yeah, if somebody could tone it down, that's like even when I have, I was post on walleye videos. What do you do with that? Something that was your walleye videos. And then he just said, no, take pictures, show me how.
Yeah.
Where when was in for hiking on Duel, and they never did get posted because every time we got a 20 inches, which was 40 inches mine. No, man, you can't post this 20 inch bike. This is I'll take a picture of video on my bike. And that's one of the only pictures I have with them. Him recording that video. And I don't remember who took the picture, but that is the only picture I do have with him.
Yeah. His excitement level for the smallest fish was amazing. His excitement level was always just the best. Unreal.
Be thankful for catch fish.
Yeah. Exactly.
Yeah, he's always positive. We made him a little bit more spoiled the science fishery. Like that bull he just caught recently. It's 27 inches. It's new PV. He blew my face for that one.
Oh yeah.
Yeah, he's so excited.
Yeah. Oh yeah. He was so pumped, man. Like it was like he was ready to cry.
Yeah. That's like him with the tubes.
Yeah.
And we're driving. I know you can tell out there. There was a white tubes in the trees. There's a rock. Yeah, he was there. He was trying. He tried that whole spot on that 1.5 inch that Renee had on.
Yeah.
Strong. And I said, nah. So I lost 100 tubes in it. You don't need more tubes. I got lost.
Yeah.
And even his rod, that we'd seen this past weekend, had a tube on.
Yeah.
And the fact that he was trying to get me fly, which is nice to see that.
Yeah. Yeah, I was really happy about that. We had talked about that. He would message me, what flies are good for the bull trout? What flies are good for the bull trout? And to know that that's, like, he was catching fish on his fly rod, man. Like, he was catching, like, that a boy.
Yeah, you were really good for that. He would tell me about the white fish. And I don't fish wish we all had a chance to get together, all fish with them.
Yeah.
Meeting his friends, I believe they were part of a cricket team.
Yeah.
That was really great. I enjoyed that.
Yeah, they're great people.
Oh, amazing. Just want some water, come back, water. I don't know where they got food from.
I thought it was funny they had brought that dish for us, and they go, "Don't worry, boys, it's very mild." And it was like, whoa, it was hot, man. Yeah, super spicy.
Yeah, it was definitely
So good. Like they were just wicked people, man.
I'm definitely glad that offered it after we were hiking before. You know,
Could have been bad.
Yeah, we stepped in enough cow pies up the mountain.
Oh man, right on, Glenn.
I appreciate it.
Yeah, dude. Where can people find you on social media if they're looking for you?
So you can find me on Instagram, Spot Puncher. You know, some people think my name, but you know, it's funny when it happens.
Yeah.
Now it's Glenn.
Yeah. Dude, I gotta thank you big time for everything that you've done, and we've been working hard, and we got a long road ahead of us, but let's keep going, man.
Yeah, you as well, man. I appreciate it. The team's still working together on this option.
Yeah.
Pushing it to provide money. Staying in contact with them.
Absolutely. You take care, brother.
You as well.
Talk soon.
Have a good night.
That was awesome.
Yeah, man, Glenn's a beauty. Glenn worked hard.
It takes
We all worked hard
Rajesh.
on him.
It takes Rajesh to get you guys to be buddies again. Look at that, eh?
Right?
That's
Like,
pretty good.
whoever would have thought we'd be on
I wanted to see
Thanks.
you guys around a FaceTime.
No.
That's crazy.
I'm talking.
Thanks, John.
Getting,
John's TC teaches it.
Yeah, he
teaches all
already
the
taught
time.
you. He already taught you something right there.
Yeah, man.
Yeah.
He's a great man. John is a great man. There's no denying that.
And then when you were talking about, you were beating yourself up about it, about, helping him out to these locations and stuff. We all helped him for these types of locations. And at the end of the day, I was thinking the same thing. I felt bad for, sending him pins to, I'm more talking about pins in the Highwood. Cause I wasn't even familiar with that creek he was even on, but he wanted to do it. Like that's what was making him happy. Like he wasn't sending me messages, to be unhappy going to these, rare pools. Right.
Yeah.
And at the end of the day, that was making him happy. So you can't really beat yourself up, thinking you're responsible for it when that was what he wanted to do. That was exactly what he was done with pike and walleye. He wanted bulls. He wanted big fucking bulls. That's what he wanted.
He did, man. He wanted big bull trout, and he started getting on them. And it was awesome.
Getting them. He was getting them
and on the fly too.
Yeah,
on the
man.
fly, on
that's
spin
the thing.
gear.
So all these messages we were sending him back and forth for the last 4 or 5 years, he was literally doing that. Other than putting swivels on his tube jigs, which we found out that after. I'm like, God damn it! I told you to take those off. And he had just lost a big bull because his swivel broke on him, and I was like, you still have one on.
Oh man, he would listen to everything. And then if you would talk to someone, they'd be like, oh yeah, I was just talking to John about this. It's like, oh, okay.
Oh yeah. He's already blabbing already. But
the other day we're talking because John used to, if you go on his most recent sturgeon video, it says Dino. So it's in writing. So this is the absolute truth. This is the absolute truth. Dino is the best fisherman in southern Alberta.
Yeah.
John put it in writing.
Yeah.
It is
he
true.
put it in writing. I made a post on it. I'm like, you got that wrong, buddy.
But we realized this. He used to tell me, there's nobody who knows more than you, Adam. There's nobody who knows more than you,
I didn't hear him say it. I didn't hear it.
And Glenn, you're the master of the mountains. It's so funny to know, like he meant it, but he was soaking us so that we were
He
just
was.
like,
We
yeah,
talked
let's
about that
go.
last night. He was just baiting us to give us good egos. And they're like, "Oh, I'm the best. Okay, here, let me give you more spots. I'm the best." He was smart.
Oh man.
Yeah, that's exactly what that was. He was just baiting us, just like, I'll just tell them they're good and they're going to give me more spots. I gave him all. I didn't even care, man. I've told him more spots because I knew he was going to eventually go to him one day. I don't even care. I was like, go right ahead. Go right
Like
ahead.
if there's one person who really deserved to like succeed,
Oh, yeah.
because it was him, man. Like he
Man,
put in the effort, he listened to everything, he watched and learned and watched and
Man,
learned.
when he first started making videos, I mean, his videos and the quality of fish was so green that I just literally couldn't help myself but to like try to make him good, because I mean, he did catch a lot of slack online, right?
Yeah.
And I would just like go here and catch something easy out of this hole, and then shut these guys up, right?
And I mean, you're saying that the quality of fish in the first few videos you seen was green. I remember the first video I ever watched of John.
Other than his whitefish is
No, oh,
yeah.
I got a funny story about whitefish too, but the first video I ever seen of John's was that brown trout, and I was like,
okay,
wow,
yeah, I want to talk about that too, because like I'm not sure
that
if
thing is a
everybody
giant.
has seen that brown, but I've always called that brown the top 10 brown that's been caught in Alberta. Like
Yeah.
I've seen every single big brown ever posted. If it hasn't been posted, I mean, sure, there might be some fly guys or something that haven't posted on Facebook, but if it's been posted on Facebook, I've seen it. And that particular brown was definitely a top 10 brown in this province. Like the patterns that had on it, I seen that and I was just blown away. I didn't even know what lake he was even on.
It's
Like, where
unreal
was
fish.
that? Unreal,
It's an
unreal.
unreal fish,
It
man.
is, and he ate it too, just like Dino would have.
Yeah, just like that's why you guys are so good friends, man.
Yeah,
It's like Big Brown dinner plate.
Yeah, I wouldn't eat that in today's days, but at the time it might have been eaten. But no, and he made a catch and cook video with that fish too. I mean, there was a second part of that video where he took it home and he battered her up and he made a little East Indian cuisine meal. I might have to try a brown trout now, John's way.
And like you say, whitefish, like there. So I've always looked to like the Asians,
that brown
because
right
they
there,
are that one right there.
Yeah,
the Asians, because they can whitefish.
Can you zoom in on it all, Mitch? And just look at the dots on that thing, look at
the adipose and the tail, man.
Yeah, like that is just a crazy pattern brown. Like
man, that's a beauty.
Yeah, that was a really good brown. Like, and I even gave him slack at the time for even eating it. But I mean, I don't know why I'd be the guy to give someone slack about eating.
Yeah, come on,
man. Yeah.
And like that dude, like you say, like he could catch whitefish, like they would go, like he'd message me and be like, "Have you heard of any whitefish lately?" He's like, "My spot dried up," and I'd be like, "Oh, try here," and he'd like be like, "Yeah, I didn't catch anything there." And then like the next day, he'd be like, "Yeah, I caught my limit in 20 minutes yesterday. Go here." Like he was the best, one of the best whitefish fishermen I've ever known.
I never ever like asked him questions about getting whitefish. I mean, I've gotten very few open water whitefish ever, and I never really asked him any questions about it. I should have, but
yeah. Oh man, and like he catches tanks, hey?
Yeah, like they were definitely all good ones. Yeah.
Yeah, dude, he could catch whitefish.
And whitefish are an easy species to be targeting. I mean, I dread when we used to do the derby days.
He would catch them in the middle of the summer, man. Middle of the summer, didn't matter. Like literally, I was talking to him July 26th, and we were talking about whitefish, and he had just caught his limit in 20 minutes, and it was 30 degrees outside, 35 degrees outside. Because like he's not going there to just target him and let him go. He's going there to get his limit and get out of there. And 20 minutes, I can't do that. Guaranteed, I can't. He was unreal white fisherman.
That's some hard fishing right there.
Yeah, and it's so basic, but he's so good at like the micro little things that were involved with it that he could do it better than anyone.
Yeah, definitely. Better than me for sure, 100%.
Watching him fish is so much fun. Like they're like his hook sets. Oh man, as his excitement level when he got a bite was like, John, you gotta set the hook, and it's like, boom!
Yeah, tripping over his feet, tripping
Oh,
over
yeah.
his box behind
Jump.
him. Usually, everything.
I've
Everything's
seen
behind
him jump in the air to set the hook on a fish. Literally jump straight up in the air. It was awesome, man.
like a little Indian leprechaun. And like even when I first met him, I thought he was shorter than I actually thought he was.
Yeah, he's about my height. So we're
Yeah, he
short.
was tiny. He was tiny little guy.
Oh yeah, man. Yeah. No, John was he's a beauty, man. I'm glad I got to fish with him like a lot of times. Well, not a lot of times. Like I'm glad I got to fish with him like quite a few times because just like seeing his excitement level, like I say earlier, it's just infectious, man. You can't help but be like, no matter what's happening, you snap off 10 lures in a row, and he's gonna make you laugh about it. Like it doesn't matter.
The last time I surgeon fished him was 3 weeks ago with Joey and Kevin and my neighbor Herschel. We were only been there for 8 hours, and we were catching like I caught one sucker in 8 hours, and I think the other guy, I can't remember if they even caught anything. And he came at 5 o'clock. We were fishing the dead water and the deep stuff, and he comes over. I'm the one that gave him that pin to that spot in the first place, and he comes down at 5 o'clock. He's like, no, there's no fish in the dead water. They're all been catching in the current. I'm like, what are you
Don't worry.
And I
Dad
never even
taught him
fished
how to
that fast
sturgeon
one.
fish.
Yeah, you taught him that. I never fished in that corner. And he went over there, and 10 minutes later, his rod was wet in the water. And yeah, he showed us that day. There was definitely one sitting there.
Yeah, that's Johnny's corner now, man.
Yeah, that's Johnny's corner.
Yep, Johnny's corner.
Every time we go there, it's going to call it Johnny's corner.
Yep, no more Horseshoe Bay. Johnny's corner now.
And even like later on, like he didn't come down the second day we're there. He's like, no, I'm sick of sturgeon now. I'm like, he's like, I'm gonna go to the mountains. Like we came from Calgary to fish there. He was going
because he knows, man. I told him I was like, there's no more need for sturgeon. We got to go to the mountains now, man. Time to switch it up.
We were there too late, and he caught the only 57 that happened to come by.
That picture is just like. That picture is so glorious, dude. Like just the rock on while he's holding on.
There's another picture that Joey has with the lightning in the background, another angle when he's holding that.
Oh,
fish.
Really?
Yeah, it's got a big lightning strike. But I was trying to message him, but I don't know if he sent the picture to me in time though. I'll have to get it sent again. Yeah, one of the pictures is a lightning strike right across the sky. I was just holding it. Yeah,
that's epic. Yeah. No, man, he was a hardcore. That's for sure.
Do you want to roll into your talk with Matt and Colton there, Adam?
Yeah, sure. That's a quick one about the boys and knowing Johnny a little bit. So let's roll into that.
Let's do it.
All right, guys. So we got Matthew Doyle.
I think we should mute everyone though, so it doesn't echo.
Fortunately.
Yeah, give me a second.
Guys were by search for John on the weekend. It was a tough search for us all. But that's not what we're focusing on. We're focusing on the good stuff.
So Colton, you're gonna have to sit there for a second, buddy. You're gonna think about John. And Matt, can you tell us the story, buddy?
Well, me and John didn't see each other really ever face to face. We spoke probably quite frequently over the last 2 to 3 years, sharing tips and tricks, and getting to know John was a complete pleasure. One of the first times that I ever had an interaction with John was when he first popped into the fishing community, and all of a sudden there was this guy, and he was posting these amateur videos everywhere. I would get 17 notifications because of the amount of pages I'm on, right? So it's like, who the hell is this? And, you could tell he had a great passion for what he did, but he was new. You could also tell that.
Yeah.
So we call him out on things, kind of poke fun a little bit, but at the same time, I'm sure much like everybody else, we're just trying to teach him a thing or two. I kind of knew he was here to stay in the fishing community. As for funny stories, John would catch me sometimes. I get a little bit hot-headed on the internet, And sometimes I'd say some things that would trigger John, and he'd reach out to me and say, "Listen, Matt, I know that your heart is bigger than that. I know that you are a kind man, blah blah blah." And he would all the time, shed his wisdom on, why not, dwell on the small things. Why not, let people get to you and
Yeah.
whatnot. The fishing community lost a great man. He was very inspirational. He will forever be loved and never forgotten.
Absolutely. I mean, like, I think it's quite a popular thing, to have all these angling friends like across the province, across the country, who you never actually get to see, but you grow so close to them just through conversations. And John was like you say, he was one of those guys who would like once you guys became friends, he would always remind you like, I care about you, be your best person. And I mean,
Genuine man.
it was proven like when we were all out there, just we were being the best that we could be, no matter who was there. I mean, we did what we needed to do, right, for our friend. We came together, and that's all John ever wanted, was everyone to come together. So, I wish he could have seen that. I mean, obviously under very different circumstances, but I just hope he could see down and see the love that was there for him that day, because it was massive. It was massive.
He's still watching and learning.
Oh yeah, he's gonna be watching over us on the streams now.
Absolutely.
What about you, Colton?
Well, I personally never got to meet him, unfortunately. Like Matt, we just talked back and forth over the years. Actually, more recently than not, because he's been chasing bull trout.
Yeah, man, he's big on the bulls, and he was getting them. He was getting them.
Into him, and he's a big sponge for knowledge. He calls me, texts me, he wants to know spots, technique, tricks, just anything he can, and it's set to be a good man, boss like that. I really wish I would have got to meet him before he passed, but he was a good man to me through conversation and over the internet, and I'm really glad I got to meet him that way.
And like, honestly, like, you meet like his friends like AJ and guys like that and Soud and stuff like that, and you could really see like John had the same impact on them as he did on us. Like, he was the fabric that held them together. Like, they were a cricket team in town here, right? And he was just like, he was always the guy who, like, it didn't matter if so-and-so and so-and-so don't get along, because he loves so-and-so. He loves both of you. And like, or like, it didn't matter if, like I say, like, if he never met you, that didn't matter. It took me, like, it was a long time before I ever met John. And we live in the exact same city. Schedules just don't line up, right? So it was a long time before I ever met John. And I mean, we conversed, and I mean, like Colton says, the bull trout thing was his latest and greatest, and man, he was all over it all the time. He would call me, so he'd be like, one of my favorite memories is like, he would always text me before he wanted to call me, but he would never wait for the response. He'd be like, can I call you right now, brother? Like, I'm at the fly shop or I'm at the store and I just need a quick information. And then my phone would be ringing before I'm even reading the text. I'm like, oh, hey, dude.
I used to just call me. It's a lot easier than texting.
Yeah. Or like in the store, I'd be like, just put me on FaceTime and we'll look through the stuff together, man. Truly a great man, hey? I appreciate you guys so much. I mean, I had never got to meet you guys, right? Like, I never met you guys until Saturday, and it may have been under horribly unfortunate circumstances, but I was glad to shake hands with you guys, and we'll be doing it a lot more now.
I got a strong feeling it won't be the last time we're all together.
That's 100% now. There's a bond there that can't be broken, right? So
that's right.
We'll get out again soon, guys. Matt, can you give me your social media really quick, just in case anyone wants to reach out to you about this or just follow you in general?
Just follow me in general, and if you want to focus on, or keep up on what's going on,
Right. So you guys can reach out to Matt on Facebook. What's your Instagram, Matt?
Tightline Angling on Instagram.
And Colton?
Just Colton Phillips on Facebook and Ben Dingrods on Instagram.
Bending rods. I love it. All right, guys. Well, try to have a good night, eh? And I'm sure we'll see you guys soon.
You bet.
Take care, and thanks for doing this, guys.
Awesome. You know, when they were saying, well, how much passion he had for fishing, like that's literally what gravitated me to help him. Because I could tell by I could tell how much time he was putting in his editing. Like he wasn't just like going out one time a month. He was one of the guys that's like us. You know, there's tons of
he was
people
plotting and learning and watching videos nonstop. He'd be like, man, where can I learn how to fly fish? Like until we get to fly fish together, where can I learn how to fly fish? And I'd like tell him videos to go watch, and he'd go watch them, and he'd be like, man, I never even thought of this. And I'd be like, oh no, shit, I should have told you. Like I didn't know that. You didn't realize that, because a lot of times you just forget things, right? And he was a very visual guy, and it's like we can say how passionate he was. You can't put it into you literally can't put it into words, because it was just like it was so innocent. It was like childlike when he was fishing. Yeah. Like he was just so happy to be there. There was nothing else that mattered. He was just in the moment.
And he didn't have a bunch of East Indian guys to go fishing with, right? So I mean,
right,
it's not a real popular thing for East Indians to be doing, is going to the mountains fishing. I mean, he was a one of a kind person.
Right. It was neat because I mean, not to touch on it too much, but while we were sitting there at one point, his friend AJ looked at me and he said, he goes, you fishing guys, he goes, you guys are very close, hey? And it was like, yeah, like no matter what, like it didn't have to be John, like it be any of us, right? Like you guys, we got to remember, like that's all he wanted was us just to be together, right? Yeah. Look out for each other, help each other. Like here's the biggest thing, like he hated people being like, oh, it's too secret. It's too secret. We all got our secret spots, but just help each other, guys. Like sending someone a pin to an average, like a spot where they're going to catch some fish. That's all he would want, man. Like, and like, you know, like if you sent John a pin, you knew that pin wasn't safe with John, but that's fine. It doesn't matter. It didn't matter, man. Like
he was going to go to it eventually. I mean, his phone probably had a whole bunch of just images all saved in his phone. Like, just pins. He was just planning everything to go eventually.
Anytime I would put pins in his phone, like his phone is littered, and I'd like so. For instance, I've seen
a large selection.
Yeah, I seen him like sometime like I don't know, mid-July. And we were talking about Castle, and he goes, where can I fish? He's like, where's a good point to start when I get down there? And I like zoom in on this spot on his phone, eh? And it says Glen spot. I'm like, oh, just start there, man. I was like, that's where I was going to tell you to go. Like, no, it was funny. He just had a
very
list.
little secrets.
If your name, anyways. Like if you gave him that pin, your name was in there, so you know where that pin came from when you were in his phone.
Yeah. Oh yeah. Hilarious. Yeah.
Oh, it was just a beautiful human being, man. That guy was great.
He's really a good guy to fish with, man. I'm definitely gonna miss him, man.
100%. Like I was thinking about it.
Just the fact he was just getting like good too.
And like he was getting good. Like that's the thing. He was getting good.
Yeah.
Like
and I think he with his passion and his desire to fish, he was pushing himself more and more. Like what would have happened in another 2 years? I mean, he would have been catching hogs, man.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah,
and like he knew, like he had an in-depth knowledge of the spots that he was fishing. Right?
Yeah.
It wasn't like it would be like, hey, like he'd be like, hey, where's this pin? And like when he would come back and talk to you about it, it's not like he just went there and fished with no brain and cast it in there. Like he was learning the entire time he was there too. He'd be like, oh, did you notice this when you were there, or did you notice this? Or, like he was a very smart person.
He was
like
paying attention.
He's like he was the big ball of all of us put together, plus everything else.
He had
a
piece of everything that we've gave him, all wrapped up into one human being. I mean, he was destined to slay, man.
That's his pin book.
Artificial
Yeah, like,
intelligence.
a little bit of everybody.
Yeah, for sure. Yeah, he did. He had knowledge of all these guys slaying, and he had it all wrapped up into one person.
Yeah.
Yeah, and he just didn't have enough
He
time to
trumped
do it all.
everybody.
He did. He did. He did.
And you know what? That teaches you guys, like, if you're good to everybody, everybody's going to help you and you can help everybody. And I mean, like, imagine what you all could do, right? If we all stuck together and we're like, hey, like this and this and this, and we took care of the fish that we were fishing for and everything like that, like, imagine what we could do. Like, imagine the fish we would see all the time and the fish that we would grow in Alberta. It'd be amazing. And, yeah, here's a testament to that. Like, that was the thing. Someone could give him like a negative remark, but he would use it constructively and take that and use it. Like, he wasn't going to respond negatively. He was going to use that. Like, oh, this kind of net. And then I seen someone tell him this kind of net. And there was like 3 people in a row tell him to use a different kind of net. And I told the person off, and he messaged me. He's like, thanks, man, but you don't have to do that. He's like, what do you recommend I use? He's like, because that's what I'll use. And don't worry about what they have to say about me, because it doesn't matter. And it's like, man, I just wish I could be like that. Like, you know, I try every day to be like a better person, but like, if I could be like, sounds cliche, if I could be half the man that John was and half as good of a person as he was, it'd be sweet.
And even for how far he drove, from Medicine Hat. I mean, that's a long haul too to get.
Dude,
to
he's up at 3:30 in the morning to drive 3.5 hours.
Medicine Hat is not by the mountains.
Send it.
Yeah,
cross province.
Yeah. That's desire right there. Desire.
And like that's the thing, is like when he got there, sun coming up, oh man, he was happy because it could be guaranteed.
For sure.
Guaranteed, bro.
Cleanses the soul, like everybody, when you see that get there.
It's just he used to tell me, this is my favorite place on earth. We need to fish here one day together. And now every time I go there, we're going to be fishing together. So that's pretty awesome.
Yeah. So we have you guys started the auction page.
Yep.
It's booming. Like, crazy amount of support there.
Yeah. So I was like hoping so everybody who shares, Dino's made a good point. Everybody who shares these auction pages, that's amazing of you guys. Like, we really appreciate that.
We need to spam the Facebook pages.
Yeah, we need to
just
spam
like
them.
John would have.
We need to, like if John put out a video that was on 15
everywhere.
pages, he commented on his own video. He liked his own video.
He liked his own videos, everything.
Because he understood the algorithms of Facebook, Instagram, YouTube. Guys, please go like those. Go comment on them. Doesn't matter if you just put thumbs up in the comment, or a thumbs down, or a smiley face, or a fishing rod, or whatever you say. Just say hi or whatever. Spam those comments. Spam everything to do with the GoFundMe account. All the
GoFundMe links have already gone down in the news feeds. So definitely bump them, comment on, bump them back up to the top feed, because the GoFundMe money is slowing down right now because those feeds the Facebook's moving them down. Bump them right back to the top. When I go through my news feed after this convo with you guys, I want to see those. I want to see the whole thing just being filled with those links.
Blow them up.
Yeah, blow it up.
Yeah, please.
Please,
guys. And you guys have been doing, and don't get me wrong, you guys are doing freaking amazing. This is crazy.
Good. Yeah.
40 this shows how much John was loved, right?
Yeah.
Shows how much John was loved, shows how tight
John would be blown away that many people have sent, this kind of money in. But we need more. More.
Yeah. He's from a long way away, right? He's not from here. His family's not from here.
No.
So it's a lot different.
He's got a family of five or six. I can't remember if I read 5 or 6, but he's the breadwinner for this family. He sent a lot of money that he made here in Canada back home. He's got his aging parents. He's got his sister. And I'm not sure if he had a brother or not, but his whole family is in India. He's the only person here, and he's being taken back to India this week. So there's a lot of finances that need to be taken care of on that end.
Yeah. So if you guys could just do everything you can, please. I mean, if you got $5, $2, whatever.
Yeah, exactly.
And when
Anything counts.
when those auctions come up, if you put an item in, please share your item onto your Facebook page.
Yeah.
Instead of just being in the page. Because if you share it outside the Facebook page and someone sees that you perhaps, like, there's so many things. Like, I have paintings that I have had dropped off at my house. There's going to be a container of dill dip if you live in Medicine Hat or an hour or surrounding distances because we can't ship it. There's like all kinds of stuff, detailing, like rods, trout kits.
There's something
everything.
for everybody.
Yeah, there's literally something for everyone. Christmas presents for the future, birthday presents, whatever. You can get it in this auction.
Gift cards to steak dinners, everything.
Check it out. The best steak dinner.
After the show, I'll post it up on the site too, the GoFundMe and for the fundraiser, because like that fundraiser is crazy. There's tackle companies giving away hundreds and hundreds of dollars worth of gear. So get in on it.
There's guided trips on there. There's two guided trips. 3 actually.
Yeah, I think there's 3 now.
Yeah.
Maybe I'll throw another one in for in the winter, an ice fishing trip too. So
yeah, there's an ice fishing one on there right now too. Yep.
We can do something like that.
Yeah, I appreciate everyone who's honestly, I appreciate everyone who's donated and put into this auction because he deserves it. Like honestly,
he definitely deserves it. Definitely.
He deserves every bit of it. Everything that we can do for him.
It's just crazy the amount of people that have come together over this tragedy. I would call it
definitely
it shouldn't happen. It's a
freak accident.
Too soon. It could have happened to any one of us because we all do the exact same thing.
Yep.
We're going out. Sometimes you go by yourself just because you need to get away, right? Or you just want to go catch those fish and
you want to be able to pull the plug whenever you want. Like I fish by myself sometimes because I'm like, I don't want to fish it no more. I don't have to convince somebody.
Yeah.
So keep the support coming. We'll get those links up and just if you're on those sites, like they said, keep bumping them. Just comment, and we'll just fill the Facebook world with this and try to help as much as possible as we can with all these different things going on. I appreciate you guys coming on.
For sure.
Thanks for having us, Mitch, to help spread the word, man.
Thanks, Adam, for doing all those interviews. That's awesome. For getting those guys on there when they couldn't make it to tonight's show. So
those guys put in a lot of work.
Yeah, that's deadly. Yeah. I know they can find Adam at the Horseshoe Kid if you want to reach out.
You guys have any questions on anything to do with John?
Yeah. Reach out
and
to
this
him.
fundraiser and anything, let me know. Yeah. And I'll steer you in the right direction for that.
And Dino, where can they find you in case they want to add something too?
My Instagram is Dino with a Greek. It's Dino _the _Greek. And everyone pretty much has my Facebook on there, Dino Lazaridis. And yeah, I mean, for the most part,
has your Facebook.
Everyone's got my Facebook.
Oh man,
I'm not a new person on these fishing pages.
Yeah. If anybody has any questions, I can definitely direct them to Adam or Glenn or anybody a part of those things that are organized right now. So you can send it to me, Northwest Adventures, and I'll make sure it gets to Adam or Glenn. And I'll post up those pages. And
if you're not, go subscribe to John's channel, Vlogger John on
subscribe
YouTube.
Because he's still gonna get income from his YouTube, right? I mean, he was generating. Yeah, I mean, he's generating income right now off of it, right?
Yeah,
and he was one of the fortunate ones to get money from his advertising, and his Facebook's incorporated.
Yeah, and there's potentially more videos coming out, guys. So
there's 3 more uploading right now.
Yeah. Like I seen there premieres for him. So there's gonna be more stuff coming out. So we gotta celebrate him, guys.
he did generate income from it.
100%. Thanks again, guys. We're
Thanks
gonna
for having me, guys.
end off with a tribute. Adam did a little short video, and that'll be her. So thanks for watching.
Thanks for having us, man.
Yeah, amazing guy. Went too soon, so
Definitely.
Good
stay
day,
together, keep fishing, get outdoors, everybody.
Peace out.
Cheers.
Cheers.
buddy.
There you go.
Most fish.
Most fish, not the size.
Not the size. Size doesn't matter. Ask
Nope.
all the girls. Ask the girls.
That's what she says.
Oh, Johnny's on. You're putting me in trouble.
Nobody's eating worms today, okay? I'm not eating worms. If you haven't subscribed to Vlogger John, subscribe that channel. And hopefully I will have the same competition going on, and we will see you soon on my channel.